Let me just say this evening, what an honor it is to stand here before all of you and introduce our city's first, very first woman mayor. Give it up. Not only am I pleased to share information with you about Rosalynn and all that she has done, and I've known Rosalynn for many years, but I just want to share a little bit about our commitment to the city of Grand Rapids. For 10 years, Rosalynn has represented us as a city commissioner in the 2nd Ward. But she didn't just work for the people in the 2nd Ward. She worked tirelessly for families, for neighborhoods, businesses. She championed community policing, fixing infrastructure, access to parks. That isn't me, but Rosalynn, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, Rosalynn. I'm impressed. Absolutely. Green space, we have safe playgrounds, swimming pools. She worked to streamline city services, established 311, solved fiscal shortfalls. She passed budgets along with her other peers. She's worked in every corner of this city, in every neighborhood, with businesses, families, and every level of government. I've personally come to know Rosalynn for years, actually through St. John's Home, so long before she became even the city commissioner. We've worked together. She knows how to work with partners. She gets things done. She's an advocate for children and families. What I love most about her, though, she has a love for Grand Rapids Public Schools. That's it. She has dedicated her life. She has an interesting story. She has dedicated her life to helping others. And as our mayor, she will leverage her experience as a city commissioner, a social worker, all of the effort that she has built in community relationships. She has a strong work ethic, which is wonderful. But when she kicked off her campaign, Rosalynn said she wants to create an opportunity for the broader range of citizens. And that's what we're about, Grand Rapids. That's what we need. We need to involve every segment of this community. 1 month into her term, Mayor Bliss continues to be committed. She reached out to me. We have breakfast scheduled every month. She didn't have to do that, but she really wants to know about the children in this city. That's important. She's committed to neighborhoods, economic growth, and the environment, as well as public safety. This evening, she's going to share her ideas with us. And I know, as well as I want to hear her, you do as well. So Grand Rapids, without further ado, give it up for our mayor, Rosalynn Bliss. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Teresa, for that unbelievably kind introduction. But thank you more for your leadership of Grand Rapids Public Schools, your passion and your vision Where did Teresa go? I can't see her. Right there. Like, truly, though, your passion, your heart, you are making such a difference in the lives of children. Thank you. Oh, I am so thrilled to be before you tonight to share with you the State of the City address for 2016. Looking across this room, even though it just got really dark, I see what makes Grand Rapids the amazing city that it is, and that is all of you. I have this framed photograph of a building that has a sign across the roof of it that reads, "The people are the city." It was the very first picture that I hung in my office when I started my service as city commissioner, and it will be the last one that I take down when I am done serving our great city. People are the heart and spirit of our city, and it is people who have stepped up again and again to make Grand Rapids what it is today. A city also thrives because of businesses, both small and large, that are committed to community. I want to thank the generous community sponsors that have helped make this event possible. I also want to thank them for all that they do to contribute to the strength and success of our city. The businesses sponsoring this evening are listed in your program, and here they are before you. So let's please pause and give them a big round of applause and a big thank you. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge the elected officials who are here with us tonight. And I'm going to start with those I serve with on the City Commission. I'm so grateful to have all 5 of my colleagues with me tonight, including Commissioner Schaefer. If you're here, you're welcome to stand up. Or if you're standing in the back, wave. Or maybe they're downstairs. But I have my colleagues, Commissioner Schaefer, Commissioner Kelly, Commissioner Sunita Lanier, Commissioner Allen, and Commissioner O'Connor. I'm so excited to serve with you all. We have Grand Rapids Public School Board members, Tony Baker, Wendy Falb, David LeGrand, Monica Randalls, and Reynard Ross. I am also so grateful to have some fellow mayors with me tonight, including Kalamazoo Mayor Bobby Hopewell. I look forward to serving with you on the Michigan Municipal League and the Conference of Mayors. Also, Walker Mayor Mark Huizinga. I cannot forget Caledonia Township Supervisor Brian Harrison. Also, we have county commissioners with us tonight. The county chair, Commissioner Saalfeld. We have Commissioner Bulkowski, Commissioner Hennessy, Commissioner Mandy Bolter, and then also our very own County Clerk Mary Hollenrink. Grateful to have our State Representative Winnie Brinks and State Senator Peter McGregor. And representing U.S. Senator Debbie Stabenow, Mary Judnich is here, and representing U.S. Senator Gary Peters, we have Peter Dicko. And then last but not least, we have State Board of Education member Lupe Ramos Montané. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for your service. I look forward to working together to support our great city. I recognize that I stand on the shoulders of many great leaders who have come before me, and I'm honored to follow in their footsteps and help chart a course for our future. To all of you in attendance tonight and to those supporting this gathering, I appreciate your commitment to our city. You are part of the important legacy that public and private partnerships have played in building our city. Your personal involvement not only reflects this legacy, it is key to our future as we work together to build an ever more vibrant, effective, and inclusive Grand Rapids. Tonight, we are in a very special venue, a location that would not have been possible without the generous support of Bob Dykstra, who's owner of this historic Harris building. If I ask you what comes to mind when I mention these four things, beer, furniture, retail, and innovation, you just might say Grand Rapids. But if you're a historian, you may also say that these words identify the very location in which we are all standing. This building in the heart of our city reflects so much about our community. It has a past that includes businesses based on beer, furniture, and retail. And today, it is a rising center of community innovation, intentionally centered right here on Division Avenue. Just as this building has changed and adapted over time, so has our city, and so must we. This beautiful building provides a glimpse into our past and a vision for our future. Tonight, I'm going to touch on a number of important issues facing our city. In a sense, you can think of our city and the progress that we've made on issues as a tree that has varied branches and needs nurturing. Similar to a tree, our city has deep roots, and we have built a strong foundation with fertile soil. And just like a tree, we are growing and expanding, and we are branching out. These deep roots and strong foundation have allowed us to weather some very rough storms. And they are what will help us get through any difficult times ahead. Working together, we will tackle tough issues, and we will overcome them, and we will be even stronger for it. It was not that long ago that our city faced a $30 million deficit. This significant deficit was threatening our growth and our ability to branch out into the future. The deficit was so significant that it had the potential to damage the very foundational roots of our city. Action was needed. The city's budgets were tightened and hard decisions were made. We didn't take any easy way out, and we didn't kick the can down the road. We put our fiscal house in order, and we worked closely as a community and with city employees to address problems. As a result, we stand here today with our roots intact and the capability to continue to grow. Today, the city has a balanced budget and a solid budget stabilization fund. The way that we tackled the deficit issue says so much about the kind of place we are and what we aspire to be. For those of you who have heard me speak in the past, you know that I have a consistent goal for our city. I want Grand Rapids to be the place where families want to live and raise their children and can afford to do so. The place where seniors have options for staying and living in place. The place where neighborhoods have strong schools and children can walk safely to those schools. The place where we have neighborhood associations and nonprofit organizations that exemplify best practices and work in partnership with the city. The place where every resident can take advantage of expanding educational and job opportunities. The place where young professionals from every background feel welcomed and included in opportunities for success. And the place where we have a vibrant downtown with amenities that appeal to diverse audiences. And the place where we have a strong and growing local economy where businesses thrive and compete in a global economy as they create opportunity for all. I want us to be a city that nurtures hope, innovation, inclusion, and a sense of possibility. We are the bright spot in Michigan. That's true. Sorry, Mayor Hopewell. But we're good partners. When we think about Grand Rapids as a tree with deep roots laid, we recognize that the only way to grow strong is to live within a healthy and nurturing environment. So I recently stood on the Blue Bridge and I gazed down at the river. The river is both powerful and gentle. It is relentless, and yet it alters its path to overcome obstacles. A river shapes the landscape, and the landscape shapes the river. I then looked upstream and downstream at the bridges crossing our river. They're bridges that were built by our predecessors, connecting, expanding physical structures, supporting aspirations, and connecting our community. Our river is a resource, natural, economic, and aesthetic, and it cannot be neglected. We have made substantial progress toward improving the Grand River. It is our namesake for a reason. In the past, the river divided us between east and west. In the future, the restored corridor acts to unite us as a community and be a central gathering place. Once we implement the plan for its restoration, our river will be an even greater source of pride, community connection, and economic opportunity. Our Grand River has this amazing historical role in our city, from moving logs to promoting commerce to fostering community. Did you know that along the short stretch of the river, from Ann Street to our north, flowing through downtown, there is an 18-foot drop? And then as the water flows from downtown out to the lake, the river only drops another 4 feet. What I am describing is a natural wonder right here in the middle of downtown, one that no other Michigan city can claim. I know, it's amazing. But I want you to imagine being at Riverside Park and seeing rowing in the river, canoeing or kayaking through the city, and then the eventual capacity to ride your bike on a 10-mile urban trail all along the river, from Riverside Park to Millennium Park and beyond. With the recent adoption of the GR Forward Plan, these are realistic dreams. The GR Forward Plan is the first downtown master plan in 22 years. It is a plan embedded with goals related to inclusion, mobility, mixed-use development, housing, and the redevelopment of our river. It aspires to transform the river corridor from a dramatically underutilized asset into a one-of-a-kind civic amenity. We are making this vision a reality by continuing to work closely and in collaboration with our many public and private partners. The groundwork has already started to restore our namesake, Grand Rapids. But the river is only one part of our commitment to sustainability. Grand Rapids is widely recognized as one of the most sustainable mid-sized cities in the country. I want us to remain not only a leader in our class, I want us to raise the bar. We have set a number of bold goals related to sustainability, which we will accomplish. I'm going to share with you some of them. These goals include getting 100% of our energy from renewable sources by 2025. The new solar panel field that we're going to put at the former Butterworth landfill site will help us meet this goal. We're going to continue to increase recycling and reduce the amount of waste that we put into the landfill. I want us to reach 60,000 recycling participants. We have a goal of reaching 100 miles of bike lanes throughout our city by 2017. And let me tell you why this is important. Grand Rapids has one of the highest bike crash rates in the state. Our streets need to be safe for everyone, whether you are walking or riding your bike or on a skateboard or in your car. We will launch a safety campaign in the spring, and we will look forward to engaging the community so that everyone knows their rights and responsibilities as we move from place to place. Next, our urban tree canopy will grow to 40%. This has been a goal for a while. So we all know the value of trees. They improve air quality, they reduce water runoff, they reduce utility costs, they increase property values. They are one of the least expensive, long-lasting changes that we can make to improve quality of life. We will identify public areas that are lacking trees, and we will focus our efforts on filling those holes. We will work in partnership with the Urban Forest Committee to incentivize tree planting on private property. We will continue to partner with GRPS to plant trees on school property. And we will work to ensure, this is one of the last goals I'm talking about under environmental, but we are going to work to ensure that there is a park within walking distance of every single child that lives in our city. Parks. Parks breathe life into our city, and they provide substantial urban benefits. But I'm not talking about parks that you may think of today. Imagine a city known for excellent environmental education because its parks are natural classrooms where children encounter hands-on experiential learning. Partnering with GRPS to enhance environmental education in our public spaces is a priority to me. We will soon embark on a plan with GRPS for connecting children to nature and increasing environmental education in public spaces. Children. Children spend an average of 6 hours a day in front of a screen, and this directly impacts brain development. We know that nature is important to children's development in every single way, intellectually, emotionally, socially, spiritually, and physically. As a city, we are going to create greater access to nature for all of our younger residents. So just as a tree can grow from a sapling to this mighty oak, we have so many examples of local businesses that have grown into national or global leaders. We have a spirit in Grand Rapids that believes that anything is possible. It is this optimism that is in our DNA, and yet it's another trait that makes our city great. Grand Rapids has an impressive history of large businesses that started small. They started with a person with a dream, a solution to a problem, and a willingness to take a risk and work hard. From the lumber days to the furniture days to the manufacturing era, we have so many incredible stories to tell. I want Grand Rapids to be the place, the best place for businesses, both small and large, and where diverse local businesses can flourish. To be the place. To be the place where entrepreneurs are supported and can successfully start and grow a business. Past generation success stories abound, with our history full of businesses that started, evolved, and became the fabric of our city. Today, we have a new generation of businesses. They are emerging all across our city, supplementing our strong base. Modistry, for example, just a few blocks away from us, creates digital measurement tools to optimize heavy equipment field inspections, serving customers such as Caterpillar with leading innovative approaches. In this room, there are many organizations. I don't even know how many. There are so many organizations represented that have nurtured our city's entrepreneurs. There are quite a few businesses that exist today that would not be here if it were not for these organizations. I am committed to doing a lot more for each and every would-be entrepreneur in our city. We must support the work being done to nurture business-to-business relationships and to promote and enhance, especially minority-owned businesses. I support the creation of cultural districts in key corridors, such as Granville Avenue and Southtown. I am looking at ways to reform our local policies to better support entrepreneurs. As one example, I will ask key stakeholders to assist in creating a series of community-supported recommendations along with amendments to our food truck ordinance to expand designated areas, hours of operation, and streamline licensing. Food trucks are an entry point for culinary entrepreneurship, and we should aspire to support their startup and evolution. Incredible, not sure when y'all are going to clap, so I'm gonna keep going. Although I do appreciate it because I can take a drink of water. So incredible collaboration is occurring across our community to reach out to and support minority-owned businesses. When I think of what can be accomplished by inspiring businesses, I think of Supermercado Mexico. Javier Alvera, who is here with us tonight, built his business from a startup to a vibrant collection of 3 supermercados serving our community, with 2 of those locations on Granville Avenue. Javier worked with the West Michigan Small Business Development Center to launch these businesses and grow them, and he recently joined the Grand Rapids Chamber Board to give back to the community and help pave the way for other businesses. I am committed to supporting local businesses. We will soon launch a partnership with GRPS to increase awareness about the city and schools' commitment to supporting local businesses. We are here as public entities to actively work with the Hispanic Chamber, the Urban League, the NAACP, Asian American Association, Hispanic Center, and others to connect more directly and support minority and women-owned businesses. Small businesses are the branches on which everything grows. They are key to our city's economic strength and the source of energy needed to make our city and our neighborhoods strong. Small businesses serve as an essential part of our ecosystem, vibrancy, and supply chain needed for larger businesses. There's a synergy. So let's all picture a microbrewery launching in Grand Rapids. I know that may be hard, but let's just imagine it. So let's imagine it. Let's think of that. It needs dedicated workers who come from our city, who are trained in our city, and perhaps even certified through Grand Rapids Community College's new craft brewing program. The microbrewery, they need hops to brew, hopefully from local farmers, urban farmers. It needs signs. It needs local food suppliers. It needs menus printed. It needs equipment. And then as it grows, it needs talented help to help scale up, driving more local jobs and more opportunity. The success of that one small business pulls up others. As companies thrive, talent and capital follow. Business breeds business. And business breeds vibrancy and empowerment. Whether the business is retail or manufacturing, a one-person barbershop, or a 50-person health technology company. That is the power of economic development done right, with a particular emphasis on community, collaboration, inclusion, opportunity, and empowerment. When I think of economic development, it must always include neighborhood businesses. A healthy neighborhood is built on neighborhood businesses. When we talk about the kind of people who can bring job growth and economic growth, they are people who want the same thing as all of us. They want a neighborhood where they feel welcomed and where they can raise their children. We have seen this with businesses such as Serenity Boutique. Which started in a retailer incubator, Grand Rapids Motive, and recently moved to the Hall Street neighborhood. We need more incubator space. Economic development means working from both ends of the spectrum, both big businesses and neighborhood businesses. So when we think of Grand Rapids as a tree, many of our branches represent the incredible neighborhoods that make up our city. Children deserve neighborhoods that are safe, nurturing places where they can grow and reach their full potential. I want our children to be able to lay under a tree and dream about what they can be someday. As much as we are defined by our city, neighborhoods further define and unite us. They are where we go to school, where we work, where we play, where we worship. Neighborhoods are where we connect with others, and every neighborhood in Grand Rapids is unique with its own assets and challenges. The success of our great city depends on the quality of life in each and every one of our neighborhoods, in all of our neighborhoods. We must work towards an individualized approach to supporting neighborhoods that respects what is unique about each and every one. So this individualized approach will consist of many key elements, and I'm going to share with you some of them. First is the addition of a neighborhood coordinator at the city. This position will focus on implementing the goals set out by the SAFE Task Force and the Neighborhood Summit. Stacy Stout, who is here tonight. There's Stacy. Stacy recently started in this role, and she brings a wealth of knowledge and experience. I'm so excited to work with her, and I'm excited about having her at the city to work on key issues related to equity and inclusion and strengthening our neighborhoods. Next, I will urge the City Commission to join me in supporting the creation of a neighborhood matching fund that allows us to match money raised within neighborhoods for improvement initiatives and projects. Yes. This would create an innovative, creative way to empower people to come together to work on projects. These mini grants could be used for planning or events, sprucing up buildings, creating public art, community gardens, beautifying right-of-ways, and much more. I will also continue to support the annual Neighborhood Summit and will keep us focused on the changing needs of neighborhoods. The second annual summit will take place on March 11th at GRPS University. And it will focus on critical neighborhood issues such as inclusion and community building. And as a city, it is time to strengthen our youth employment program and work closely with GRPS to create opportunities for young people to work in our neighborhood parks and in our city departments. I will call on my colleagues at the city, on the City Commission, to join me in passing an ordinance to address blighted vacant properties and hold accountable those responsible for properties that are being ignored. We cannot allow these properties to continue to drag down our neighborhoods. They are like a diseased tree branch that, if left untrimmed, the disease will spread. And strong neighborhoods have strong schools. I will continue to work in partnership with GRPS to support our children and youth. A safe place with access to a good education can make the difference between a family choosing to stay and choosing to leave our city. The success of our city and our schools is interdependent. We will build on the enhanced neighborhood approach started several years ago to reclaim our neighborhood schools. An example of this is evident at Congress Elementary. I knew my East Hills friends were over there. This is where East Hills Council of Neighbors has worked actively with the school to bring new energy and improvements. And the impact is clear. Congress went from being one of the lowest achieving schools in the city to a school where the enrollment has grown by 200. It's amazing. I want to replicate that in other neighborhoods. Next, I want to talk about community and police relations. I want our police to be like the canopy that covers our neighborhoods, overlooking our streets and providing the security and comfort that we all expect. We have a police force with a dedicated leader. Chief Rahinsky is committed to community outreach efforts and to assuring all of our citizens that our police are here to serve and protect them. We will continue our efforts towards strengthening community and police relations. This vital issue has been an ongoing dialogue in our community and across our nation. It was just over 1 year ago that a group of citizens worked in partnership with our city manager, Greg Sundstrom, to create a document called the Community and Police Relations Recommendations. The City Commission adopted this plan, and we are actively working on full implementation of these recommendations. We are making progress, but we acknowledge we have a lot more work to do. And this work requires continued vigilance. Let me tell you a little bit about the Community and Police Relations recommendations. This plan focuses on improving both police effectiveness and community involvement. Some of the elements of the plan have already been implemented, while others still need to be accomplished. A citizens committee is overseeing changes to our city's hiring practices, and we are partnering with GRPS and other organizations to connect with youth interested in law enforcement careers. Next, we are strengthening the connection between the community and the police department, and we're doing this in several ways. The police chief and captains are regularly engaging with citizens and are holding office hours and community meetings. We are adding more community police officers, But more importantly, we want all citizens to see every police officer as their community officer. We are enhancing training, providing cultural competence and implicit bias training for officers. We are outfitting police officers with body cameras, and this will be fully implemented by the end of this month. We plan to analyze arrest and traffic stop data and publicly report the outcomes. We have reviewed the city's diversity and inclusion policies and practices, and we have already made changes. Officer-involved shootings are being investigated by outside agencies. We are working to implement recommendations from the SAFE Task Force, which was led by my colleague at the time, City Commissioner Lanier. Thank you. This in-depth plan focuses on a number of key initiatives, including implementing crime prevention efforts. The pace of progress continues in these areas, and our community vibrancy, inclusion, quality of life, dignity, and success are intricately related to these areas. We are fortunate to have a police department that is working diligently with us so that Grand Rapids can serve as a national model of improving community and police relations. And this will remain a top priority for me as your mayor. Another important branch that impacts the future of our city is affordable housing. Housing in our city is a hot issue with a lot of different perspectives chiming in. Tonight, I want to share with you a little bit about my perspective. I grew up in a large family, a family of 10. My dad is a brick mason, and he never graduated from high school. Life wasn't easy for our family. There were times that I remember when the heat was shut off and I would huddle under the blankets with my brothers with a hairdryer to stay warm. Many of you can relate to moments in your life that inspire you. I can tell you that these experiences inspired me to work hard. I've worked most of my life, holding down 2 jobs, putting myself through college, living in this small apartment in East Town to save up money to buy my first house. I remember my first job out of college, I made $8 an hour. I know, it's crazy. But it was through hard work that I was able to build a life in this city that I love. Now, I recognize that we all have our own journey, our own struggles, our own barriers. But no matter someone's personal journey, I want them to be able to afford to make a life in our city. It was with a deep sense of pride that I was able to buy my home. And I want this opportunity for others. Last year, a group of citizens worked together to create the Great Housing Strategy, which included recommendations such as encouraging mixed income developments, creating live workspaces, building workforce housing, eviction prevention, and more. This created a framework, but it's a framework for the hard work that still lies ahead. It is time, and I plan to create a structure to move this work forward. Next, I will ask the City Commission to join me in the establishment of a housing fund that can be used to start to build a stable and effective way to help ensure long-term financing for affordable housing. For Grand Rapids to be a great place to call home for everyone, we need to have homes that families can afford. Whether you're a family of 4 or a family of 10, a senior, a blue-collar worker, a young professional, I want you to be able to live in our city and proudly call it your home. Another issue and aspect of housing is homelessness. It was nearly 10 years ago that the Grand Rapids Area Coalition to End Homelessness created a plan to tackle the difficult issue of homelessness. Hundreds of more housing units have been created since then, but much more needs to be done. It is now within our grasp to dramatically impact homelessness and ease the struggle of veterans, youth, and families. I believe we can end chronic homelessness within our city. I know we can. But again, this requires addressing opportunities for housing and employment, social issues, but it also requires working closely as a community toward a collective goal. Next, a tree branch. A tree can sprout many branches in many, many directions, but still it can be fundamentally unhealthy if careful attention is not paid to all areas. And this can happen in a city too. Specifically, I am talking about racial disparities. We must confront a difficult issue that has grown to an unacceptable proportion in our city. The data is striking. The typical African American household in Grand Rapids earns less than half of what the typical white household does. 42% of African Americans in our city, live in poverty. And that is almost 4 times the rate of the Caucasian population. Infant mortality for African Americans is still 3 times as high. Hispanics are not faring well either, with 35% in Grand Rapids living in poverty and unemployment at 27% in some of our neighborhoods. When you consider the reality of these statistics and what they represent, it is no wonder many in our city feel a sense of deep hopelessness for both themselves and their children. As mayor, I will not ignore this issue. It starts with the city. It starts with how the city government looks and how we think. It starts with the diversity within our city. City staff will soon start to undergo implicit bias training and cultural competence. We have to learn to honestly assess our own biases and know how those biases impact others, specifically how they result in denying opportunities for others. Biases can result in limiting access to childcare and transportation and housing, healthcare, job opportunities, equitable wages. I urge businesses and organizations across our community to consider taking similar training steps if they haven't done so already. We all must be committed to change and improvement. We must also recognize and celebrate the important work taking place in our community, specifically around equity and inclusion, along with the work being done to support the growth and success of minority-owned businesses. So I'm going to share with you a few examples. This includes Huntington Bank's new microloan program, which partners with local organizations like GROW and LINK and MEDC to provide access to capital for small business owners who may not qualify for conventional loans. Another example is the work being done by the Grand Rapids Chamber of Commerce in advancing their new Elevate program that focuses on growing wealth among minority-owned businesses. There are many other efforts, such as the work being done by the Michigan Minority Supplier Diversity Council, by GROW, by LINK, by GRAB, and a growing list of other organizations across our community working hard to make a difference on equity and inclusion. I am committed to making initiatives such as these pervasive. In any way that I can, I will leverage my leadership and the resources of our city to make that happen. While we have done a lot of good work in our city, we have a lot more work to do. As we work to better understand the racial disparities that exist in our city, it is important that we look back and that we learn from our past. So to kick off what I am going to be calling the Mayor's Book of the Year, I can think of no better book than the book A City Within a City by Todd E. Robinson. This book, if you haven't read it, weaves, which you'll get an opportunity to, this book weaves a story of significant events along with the many people who have played a key role in the Black freedom struggle that occurred in our city. It provides a historical framework to help us learn from our past and appreciate the context of our current state. And it provides hope for our future. I invite all of you to read this book and to join me in a broader dialogue about our history. Shared experiences bring us together, and thanks to the generosity of the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, everyone here this evening will receive a copy of this book. You can leave your address downstairs on your way out, or we will be sending out an email, and we will mail you a copy of this book. GRPS will use excerpts from this book as part of Black History Month, and I will host a community forum this summer to discuss the book's message and how we can learn from it. Join me in the important work of making the vision of inclusiveness a living reality for all of our citizens. Soon, I will reach out to key stakeholders in our community to ask them to join me in creating a strategic action plan to eliminate racial disparities. I will seek representation from a variety of sectors, including long-standing organizations that have long been working for equity and inclusion. By working together, I believe we can establish a collective goal and we can create lasting positive change. This issue branches out across every aspect of our community. It defines who we are, how vibrant we are, how great we are, and what we will be. So, how do we ensure the great tree that is Grand Rapids continues to grow and flourish? We work together. We build on the efforts of those who came before us, and we enlist the help of those who can be a constructive force going forward. In our community, we work together in collaboration and in partnership to accomplish amazing things. I am here to serve you. I am here to model hard work, commitment, and accessibility. I will listen, and I will make sure many voices are included in our decision-making process. Together, we are Grand Rapids. While we are aware of and proud of our successes, we also recognize that we face challenges. As we look to the future, there are many things we want. We want there to be more opportunity for our children. We want there to be greater equity, inclusion, and economic opportunity. We want growing and thriving businesses. We want stronger neighborhoods. We want greener landscapes. Tonight, I have shared with you a vision of our future in this space that offers echoes of our past, a past that we can be both very proud of, a past we can learn from, and a past that we can improve upon. I've laid out some bold goals for our city, but also for our broader community. I am confident that all of us working together can build this vision. I so appreciate the love that all of you have for our city. I hope you will join me in shaping our future so that we all flourish as a part of the tree that is our city, Grand Rapids. Thank you.